questions, guys.
How much did the last couple of days, the 2 days off this week, how much did that sort of help you to maybe get your swing back to where it's been this weekend?
良くなりましたか。どちらかというと、休み前にいい感覚をつかめたの、ピッチング前にいい感覚をつかめたのを継続している感じかなと思います。
I actually felt pretty good the day before I pitched. Hitting wise, I think that helped more than the off days.
What was the key to carrying that momentum through the break?
なんか試合展開とか結構いい感じに流れてますけども、そんなにどう思います？
そうですね、この3連戦はうちにとっては完璧に近く試合運びだったんじゃないかなと思いますし、ピッチャー陣も含めて素晴らしい試合だったと思います。
Yeah, we played, pretty much perfect games here in Anaheim, and it was both hitting and pitching side. Did a great job.
You said you were looking for different things with your swing lately. Did you find something that's kind of got you back in the place you want to be?
いろいろ試しているところで何かつかみました。
ゾーンをしっかり把握できているのがまず一番いいところじゃないかなと思うので、あとは打球がしっかりそれなりに上がってきていい打球角度で触れてれば長打もホームランも増えてくるのかなと思います。
Yeah, I'm just my strike zone awareness is a lot better. I feel like I'm seeing the ball better, the K zone better, but also like the angle of the baseball that's taking off from my bat. That's
Last one, guys.
the higher I see, the more home runs I would expect to see.
What is different for you now that you're feeling compared to maybe a couple weeks ago when things weren't going as well?
数週間前と比べて、今どういう違う？
常に言ってますけど、やっぱり構えが一番大事だと思っているので、そこの動き出しの構えの部分でやっぱほとんどが決まっているのかなと思っています。
I feel like the posture at setup is, pretty much key to a lot of my success.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, show. Heads up.
良くなりましたか？
どちらかというと休み前にいい感覚をつかめたのがピッチング前にいい感覚をつかめたのを継続している感じかなと思います。
I actually felt pretty good the day before I pitched, hitting wise, so I think that helped more than the off days.
What was the key to carrying that momentum through the break?
なんか試合展開とかいろいろ今結構いい感じに流れてますけども、そんなにどう思います？
そうですね、この3連戦はうちにとっては完璧に近い試合運びだったんじゃないかなと思いますし、ピッチャー陣も含めて素晴らしい試合だったと思います。
Yeah, we played, pretty much perfect games here in Anaheim, and it was both hitting and pitching side. Did a great job.
You said you were looking for different things with your swing lately. Did you find something that's kind of got you back in the place you want to be?
いろいろ試しているところで何かつかめましたか？感覚的に。
ゾーンをしっかり把握できているのがまず一番いいところじゃないかなと思うので、あとは打球がしっかりそれなりに上がってきていい打球角度で触れてれば長打もホームランも増えてくるのかなと思います。
Yeah, I'm just my strike zone awareness is a lot better. I feel like I'm seeing the ball better, the K zone better, but also like the angle of the baseball that's taking off from my bat. That's
Last one, guys.
the higher I see, the more home runs I would expect to see.
What is different for you now that you're feeling compared to maybe a couple weeks ago when things weren't going as well?
数週間前と比べて、今どういう違い？
常に言ってますけど、やっぱり構えが一番大事だと思っているので、そこの動き出しの構えの部分でやっぱほとんどが決まっているのかなと思っています。
I feel like the posture at setup is, pretty much key to a lot of my success.
Dave, where did this come from today? Did you have any notion that Roki could dominate the way he did today?
Yeah, I think he's been trending. I do. I thought today that he had command of the fastball, command of the split forkball, and then mixing the slider when needed. And Dalton did a great job with him. They were in lockstep all game, and it was just great to see him be efficient and continue to do what he's telling everyone that he needs to do better, and he executed that.
You said before the game his confidence is trending higher than it has before. Do you feel like that has lent itself to him attacking the strike zone like he did today?
Yeah, I do. I think that it's understanding what is needed to get major league hitters out, what's needed to, go deeper in a game. And then the other part of it is the confidence that I think that he's got clarity on what he needs to do. And you can see it in every throw. The misses were near misses. The split was presented as a strike to get swing and miss, to get chase, and really just wasn't threatened all day.
Did he change his pattern at all?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that Dalton did a good job with the game plan, also just reading swings. So, every hitter's different as well.
What was the thing about him today, just watching, that was like the most different, especially that allowed him to be as efficient as he was?
I think that there weren't any, bad walks, deep counts that didn't need to be deep, that he put himself in those situations. Those didn't happen. Just losing a ball and hitting a batter, accidentally didn't happen. He faced the amount of hitters that he needed to face, and got I think one or two double plays when he needed. So I just thought he was on the attack, and it's kind of what Robo does, attack hitters.
How important is it going to be for him and like the rest of the rotation to be able to kind of give you guys innings consistently right now as you work through some of the guys that are on the IL?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of, you also get to see other guys. Kyle Hurt, Will Klein, Gervais is here now, to see him in different leverage. But, we still have the core guys in the pen that we have. But, yeah, for them to be able to, take 6-7 innings and outing certainly, alleviates a lot of stress from everyone.
We've had to see Roki learn to expand his pitch mix on the fly this season. How difficult is that, and what have you seen from him lately, especially today, that show signs of progress there?
I think what his openness has shown that he wants to be great. I think doing something that he's always felt comfortable doing certainly wasn't the answer, and so he had to make some adjustments. And so it is good to see the return so quickly. But like I said before today, just the openness that I've seen from him, I think it's freed him up, and I don't think that he's afraid to fail. I think he has confidence in who he is as a big league pitcher, and now, we're seeing some of the fruits right now.
What's looked better about Ohtani at the plate this weekend?
He just looks more refreshed. I think that his at-bats, he's grinding more. He has the capacity to do that. I think the swing's in a better place. He's not trying to, manufacture swing velocity by over-swinging. And it's just like, even his last at-bat, that was just a clinic on taking the right at-bat.
You ready to declare his slump is officially over now?
I'd like to think so. I hope so. We got a good series, a fun series coming up, and it's good to see that he's swinging the bat well.
Do you feel like all your guys are doing that? Offensively, it feels like it's more of a unit in the last 5 games where he scored 50.
I think so. You can see, I think, guys hitting to all fields, having a good 2-strike approach, taking walks when needed. That's kind of the sign when, guys are trusting the player behind them and, stressing pitchers. And we really weren't doing that for a few weeks.
From a team perspective, did it kind of feel like you needed a series like this to get right kind of on all aspects to get ready?
Yeah, but I think that, defensively, running the bases, we've been doing well. I think we've pitched really well. We just needed to get some success on the hitting. And to break out like that is good for the confidence for the offense.
How do you see Eric Lauer fitting into your pitching plans?
Yeah, I think that the deal's done, as I understand it. He's having trouble getting here, so we're trying to get him here to San Diego. But I think right now we're going to stand pat until we put eyes on him in San Diego. But as far as that, he'll be in the pen, and we'll kind of use him there.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, as a long man for now. Yeah, and it could change, but for now it's a long man.
The swing man provides some sort of flexibility there in
That's
case.
right. That's right.
Roki, why did you have your best start in Major League Baseball today?
今日なんで一番メジャーリーグで投球ができたんでしょう。
キャッチャーの要求通りに、投げ切れましたし、ラッシングもいいリードしてくれたので、そこかなと思います。
I think Rushing did a great job of calling the game. Good, pitch selection. Yeah, it was because of that.
You had to execute those pitches. Why do you have more confidence in the last 3 starts to throw more pitches in the strike zone?
すごくいい球を投げてたと思うんですけれども、それがなぜかというと、昔の、この前のゲームに比べて、自分の投球ができていたのはその理由ありますか？
調子自体は前回、前々回の方が感覚的には良かったんですけど、ただこう、しっかり要求通りに最後に投げれましたし、守備にも助けられながらそういうところかなとは思います。あと、点も取ってもらったので、リズムよく投げれたかなと思ってます。
I actually felt better last outing. Yeah, but today I felt able to throw strikes a little more, and also defense did a great job, and offense also did a great job of scoring a lot of runs. So,
can you explain why your confidence has grown, or is this the highest your confidence has been pitching for the Dodgers?
その自信がついてきたように見えるんですけども、自信がそのついてきた理由というのは何かありますか？
フォーム的にも徐々に良くなっているので、しっかりこの投げ方だったら、ある程度ここに行くっていうフォーム、投げれてますし、それを1試合通して、続けれたので、今日はそこが良かったのかなと思います。
I think it's one of the reasons the mechanical, it started kind of clicking, and I was able to execute it really well throughout the game today. So.
You said after your last start you felt you were a little predictable. What have you learned about your now 4 pitches and how to use them to be less predictable?
前回の時にちょっと配球に関して問題があったということだったんですけど、今回はどのように、なんかちょっと分かりにくくしたというか、どのようなゲームプランでいったんでしょうか？
そうですね、2巡目、3巡目は特にピッチングコーチとどう変えていこうかとか、そういうところを話しながら、同じ攻め方にならないようにだったり、一人一人考えながら、やりました。
Yeah, I talked to pitching coaches and then walked through my game plan for the game, and I think it will work well this time.
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Dodgers brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., Dontrell Willis. The Dodgers complete a 3-game sweep over the Angels. They've now won 5 in a row, outscoring their opponents 40-5 during these 5 games. They put up 10 runs on 11 hits today, 7 for 11 with runners in scoring position. But we can't bury the lead, Jerry.
No.
Roki Sasaki, best start of his young career, was dominant over 7 innings.
Well, it's obvious Roki was watching the pregame show, and he was challenged to pound the strike zone, get ahead, and he did exactly a dominant performance by Roki and the offense. Well done once again.
He was efficient. The mound presence finally was there. But the effort level, the execution, I thought the velocity was excellent, but also the secondary, being able to throw that split figure, get a lot of chase down in the zone, and also fluttering in that breaking ball. But it was truly fun to watch. This is a huge start for this young man. Yeah. I don't care how many runs they scored. You still have to stop the opposition from scoring. He did a great job of that today.
He certainly did, and he got that run support. Dodgers put up 7 runs in the first 3 innings of this game. Kyle Tucker had himself a big day at the Big A. Let's hear from Tuck with David Vassay.
Kyle, 5-game winning streak. The offense has scored 40 runs. Does it feel like you guys are starting to come together?
Yeah, we've been playing great ball lately. Our pitching staff's done a great job all year, and they did another great job here today in the series. And our, offense has just done a really good job overall. Really great at bats, just keeping the line moving, leaving it up to the next guy, and just trying to put as much pressure on the opposing, pitching staff. So we just continue to do that, playing good baseball. We'll be all right.
Can you appreciate the fact when you guys put up crooked numbers early in the game, a guy like Roki Sasaki can throw more strikes and feel more free and easy out there?
Yeah, obviously we try and put up runs every inning. I think it just makes it easier overall for us. It's not going to happen every day, every single inning, every single game, but if you can just continue putting up good at bats and trying to make it a little easier on the pitching staff who's held it down for us all year long, it makes it a little bit easier, yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting into a rhythm yourself?
Yeah, just trying to have good at bats and just keep the line moving. Guys have done a great job getting on base this series and so far this year. So just trying to do my part.
Last thing for you, your first taste of the Freeway Series to play in 3 sellout crowds, most of them Dodger fans. What was your experience like?
Yeah, it's great. I played in this division against the Angels for a while, and And playing here again today, watching all the Dodgers fans come out and support us, in the same city down here, it's amazing. I mean, we travel really well with our fan base, and we just try and play and do the best we can for them, and they come out and support us everywhere.
Thanks for stopping. Congratulations on a good day and a good win streak.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Keep it going, Tucker. We'll send it back to you.
It was a very good day for Kyle Tucker. He had last night off. It was a scheduled day off. He went out there today, Jerry, looking fresh and ready to go, and responded with a 3-hit day, 3 RBIs.
Yeah, did Vest say he kind of yelling like a dad to a son? Keep it going. Don't get satisfied with those 3 hits. But listen, Kyle Tucker, we said it a month ago. This guy's too good. I'm telling you, you go look at what he's done, and he's just now entering his prime. He's 29 years young. The at-bats he's had of late has been outstanding. This is obviously a nice little hand grenade, but he deserves this after a couple balls he's got hard that were robbed. But all in all, he's having really good at-bats. Here he stays up the middle, through the baseball, gets a knock, and I love that double. Yeah. His last hit, a rocket down the right field line in the corner. Here it is, just a breaking ball, stays through it, and able to keep it fair. The at-bat quality has been so good the last several weeks.
The toe tap seems to be in sync for me, and that's why he's on time with the swings. The pitch recognition is excellent as well. You know what you're going to get from Kyle Tucker. Excellent defense. He makes all the right throws, the route running, base stealing, everything you want from Kyle Tucker. The numbers at the end of the year will continue to be there. He'll be out 20 to 25 home runs. He'll score 80 times. He'll drive in 80 runs. Book it. But this right now is a huge component, especially with Mookie working his way back into the lineup. It's very important for Tuck to start feeling good as we go down the summer.
And it probably helped Roki Sasaki settle down into this game, having that 7-0 early lead in this one, Dontrell. But Roki went out there. We talked on the pregame show about him taking baby steps over his last couple starts. This was more than a baby step forward today with these 7 dominant innings, 8 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody.
He looked like a teenager today. And we're talking about baby steps because the command was there. I love what Oro said about just the mechanics. It seemed in sync, especially going downhill. That's why you consistently see him in the strike zone. You did not see today ball 6, ball 7, ball 8. He did not get himself in trouble, so he competed within the strike zone. This is fun to watch, and we're always worried about giving up the home runs. It doesn't matter if you're able to throw strikes. Now, if you're keeping guys in the yard, it keeps the defense in it, and it's a fun start, and it puts pressure on the opposition to try to square up baseballs. Tough to do off Roki when he has that split finger going down. We talked about that in the pregame show. Throwing the fastball down to be able to tunnel that split finger. He got a ton of swing and miss early in the game, and so that gives you a ton of confidence to be able to sequence and really follow the mitt and stay out of the middle of the plate. Now, Jerry, we saw a couple fastballs today that were middle, but because he threw the fastball with conviction, it was a foul ball instead of a home run, and he felt off that and really finished up strong.
But most times he was ahead in the count. If I'm 2-0, I'm hunting that pitch down the middle. Now you're able to square that. But if you're 1-1, 1-2, okay, in the back of my mind, it's a splitter. Then 97 right down the middle, man, I fouled it back. Right. Because you're still on defense when you're hitting. But when you are ahead of the count, that slider, by the way, is absolutely nasty. That split is nasty. You can do all sorts of things. Right. The plate opens up, and this is why you're getting chased. And I love that running fastball right there to Frazier. And that, see that pitch right there? At the knees on the black.
Yeah, location.
When a guy's on like Roku, who's got 3 pitches that are effective, and he's getting ahead of the count, now it seems like 6 pitches to the hitter because he's spotting here, now 3 pitches. All of them are working. And he has been effective, and the confidence is there. It's a whole lot easier hitting 2-0 and 1-0 as opposed to 1-2, 0-2. And I will say another thing. I wonder if having Robo, he's pitching ahead. The night before, Roki's sitting and seeing Robo out there. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 1, strike 2, weak contact. Strike 1, strike 2, weak contact, strike out.
Right.
Why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? And I'm saying that there's just no knock on Robo. Robo, you know this. You know, Roki has elite stuff. Right. Robo has great stuff. When Roki's on, he's got elite stuff. So I'm wondering, teacher, you can answer this question. As a starting pitcher, when you see a guy the night before doing, why can't I do that? Strike 1, strike 2. Maybe that has an effect on Roki. You know what? I'm going to pound the strike zone and see what happens.
Stop nibbling. It's not working for you. It's not putting you in a good position, and your stuff is too good. Talked about it in the pregame show. We're going to set up 2/3. I love what Dalton did. He flashed the glove really early. This is where I want you to throw this ball, and we're going to let the life and the movement play out. And so sometimes when you foul a ball off, and I've been on a mound where I'm like, I don't feel too good, and I throw one of my fastballs, and they're behind on it, all of a sudden there's a shockwave of confidence that I can get on top of the hitter and really throw the fastball with conviction, and everything else plays and gives it more life. And so, again, live low, live long. I feel like the fastball was downhill. The split was absolutely nasty, and that's why you saw them swing a lot of pitches over the top of it. So they're not picking up on the depth change. This was a massive start for him, man, because now the expectation, not only with the coaching staff, but in that locker room, is like, Roki, you can throw strikes. If you can do it in Anaheim, you can do it in any situation. We just need you to continue to navigate the lineup, and we'll take care of the rest.
And you can just see the look on his face while he's out on the mound. It is night and day different from where he was a month ago, just in terms of his confidence taking that ball. Right now, let's head back to the booth, check in one final time with Steven Nelson and Oral Hershiser.
Pure dominance for the Dodgers in the Freeway Series. They outscored the Angels 31-3 in these 3 games. They sweep Anaheim and win 5 in a row. Oral, that's exactly what you wanted to see coming here to Anaheim. Build some momentum. Don't overlook them and build towards San Diego.
Yeah, the last games against the cellar dwellers in San Francisco, they only come out 500. Here they come against another team that's one of the worst in baseball, and they do what's right. It was really good in every single department. And what highlights in my head is not the offense and not Roki right now, but the defense they played and the hustle they had when the score was out of whack. That really showed the character of this team.
But you're right about what you said on the broadcast. Roki Sasaki has the best outing he has had as a Dodger by far, and now the rotation is lined up for these 3 games in San Diego. Yamamoto, Sheehan, and Ohtani will take the ball.
Yeah, I love what Roki did. I love the stabilization of his back leg, and the pitching coach will be able to show him that. So maybe we got chances to start repeating that outing, which would be fantastic. And yes, the pitching is lined up. You know what? You start out with Yamamoto, and then you end up with Ohtani right in the middle with Sheehan. They got a chance to really play well in San Diego and pitch well. What I'm looking forward to is playing tighter games, and they continue to execute at this level.
Can't wait to see the latest installment of the Dodgers and Padres, and we will see you at Petco.
It's going to be a fun series.
Showing out once again.
Dodgers roll 10-1 and sweeping the Angels. Let's go back to Anaheim. Roki Sasaki is with David Vassegh and the media.
Roki, why did you have your best start in Major League Baseball today?
今日なんで一番メジャーリーグで投球ができたんでしょうと。
キャッチャーの要求通りに、投げ切れましたし、ラッシングもいいリードしてくれたので、そこかなと思います。
I think Rushing did a great job at calling the game. Good, pitch selection. Yeah, it's because of that.
You had to execute those pitches. Why do you have more confidence in the last 3 starts to throw more pitches in the strike zone?
すごくいい球を投げてたと思うんですけれども、それがなぜかというと、昔の、この前のゲームに比べて、自分の投球ができていたのはその理由がありますか。
調子自体は前回前々回の方が感覚的に良かったんですけど、ただこう、しっかり要求通りにそういうことに投げれましたし、守備にも助けられながらそういうところかなとは思います。あと点も取ってもらったので、リズムよく投げれたかなと思ってます。
I actually felt better last outing. Yeah, but today I felt able to throw strikes a little more, and also defense did a great job, and offense also did a great job of scoring a lot of runs. So,
can you explain why your confidence has grown, or is this the highest your confidence has been pitching for the Dodgers?
その自信がついてきたように見えるんですけども、自信がそのついてきた理由というのは何かありますか？
フォーム的にも徐々に良くなっているので、しっかりこの投げ方だったら、ある程度ここに行くっていうフォーム、投げれてますし、それを1試合通して、続けれたので、今日はそこが良かったのかなと思います。
I think it's one of the reasons mechanical. It started kind of clicking, and I was able to execute it really well throughout the game today. So.
All right, the longest outing of Roki's career deserves the longest K-zone, D-Train, of Roki's career. So let's get to it.
We are in the building. You're going to see a pattern from Roki, especially the location and the sequencing. Him being able to throw not only the split finger, but the breaking ball to the glove side down. The ability to make it look like a strike, but dart out of the zone. Occasionally, he will miss and change eye level, but as you can see by this K-zone, he could tell the hitters what's coming because he was going to execute down and away. And that's a zone where it stays out of a lot of hitters' power. There's nothing you can do. You're either in between the pitch, hoping that is a fastball, but at the last 10 feet, it darts out of the zone. Some of these split fingers, Jay here and JH, there's nothing you can do with that pitch. You just got to hope it's a ball. But as the game started to progress, he started to mix in that fastball and started to get some called strike looking because he was able to show the ability to land that breaking ball and land that split finger. And when he got ahead, he started to really pedal to the metal and throw that split finger with conviction. That's why you're seeing the movement and the depth change. There is nothing. That's my favorite pitch all day. Yeah. That is the two-seamer. This was a fun outing from this young man because he threw with confidence and poise. And I think this is going to be an outing that you're going to see him build off of. I'm not going to be surprised if he continues to put these type of numbers for the next couple starts because you could tell he was in tune with his mechanics. Even out of the slide step, it was downhill. He was good about the arm angle. This was a fun outing for this young man, and I really hope that he's going to build off this.
By that third, fourth inning, I was like, that slider is working. That's that third pitch. When a pitcher has 3 pitches, they can throw at any time for strikes, and he can wipe you out. When you do have 2 strikes to get you to chase, it's a whole nother ball game because that's just too much for the hitter to cover. And spotting that fastball, and D-Train mentioned running that fastball away from the left-hand batter. And as a right-hander, he's got that two-seamer. It could break my bat. Too much to cover. So important for him and really all starting pitchers. When they work ahead, now you can go to work. You really can go to work. And that's what we saw Roki today against the Angels. Boy, was that not fun to watch.
It was
that
a lot
was
of fun.
So fun to watch,
And
man.
Jerry, you said this a year ago at this time, how when the Dodgers signed him, he wasn't a finished product. Everyone just assumed because he was so good in Japan that he would come here and dominate right away. He was 23 years of age, and he was still trying to get the finishing touches on what he's doing out there.
When we first signed him, I said, this is not Yamamoto. Yamamoto was already a finished product, an ace coming over, and he's going to hit the ground running. Obviously, Roki had the talent, has the makeup, but he needs some fine-tuning. It's taken some time. Now, he took a huge step as a reliever last year, became our closer. That gave him some confidence. Now, going to this offseason, like, can I be that starting pitcher to get through a lineup 2 or 3 times? I know the first couple starts are rocky, but you're starting to see him build each and every start and be that guy. And today was that big step forward.
You know what was fun to watch about this start, too? Because he had confidence of the sequencing, he started to throw harder the later the ball game got. That tells me that you're in tune with your mechanics and you understand where your arm angle is and you're trusting what you see out of his hand of his ball. But the throw is perfect today. He needs to watch this video on the bus down to San Diego. He needs to really watch the sequence of it because he was getting downhill. Also for Don rushing, now we can have fun. Now I can call the game how I want to. And so it got to the point where he could have told the Angels, hey, man, don't swing at this splitter, but you're going to swing at it anyway. Have fun at this. But that's why it got fun from the 4th inning on. You can see they were on the same accord, same page, saying, hey, we started to be efficient, and that's why the strikeouts started to come.
I'm sure there's Angel fans out there going, Neto, why did you take that fastball, like at the knees? You didn't even swing at that because he's seen what's happened the previous 5-6 innings. As a major hitter, he's got the splitter working, plus the forkball working, those 2 different type of splits. Slider command, he's getting you chased. So much to deal with, and he might throw a splitter right here, just stay back, boom, 97 at the knees. Take a seat. I mean, too much to deal with for a hitter.